Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the San Francisco Giants. And just want to thank everybody for the support so far. I know my upload schedule over the last handful of months has been sporadic. I took a break back in whatever it was, October, November, or I didn't post much for like 6 months. And these videos are doing pretty good. I appreciate it. It's certainly isn't a financial windfall or anything for me. But if nobody watched them, I don't know that I would do it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for leaving likes, and thank you for just generally giving me something to do when my work day is slow. So let's get into this, and yeah, if you're enjoying this stuff, leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm closing in on 1,800 subscribers. I'm at about 1,790 right now. I'd love to hit that 1,800. I'd love to hit 2,000 by the end of the year. That's kind of the goal. So that sort of depends on you guys. Anyway, thank you for the support. It's July 1st. We're 50-28. We're a good baseball team. If we go to So 15-9 in April, which I simmed offline, 20-7 in May, which I simmed with you guys, and then 15-12 in June. So we took a bit of a step back in June, but take that for sure. Offensively, it's still been a bit of a struggle, although we do have some players who are performing quite well, honestly. Luis Matos is having a great season. I'm thrilled that I made the last-minute decision to stick him in as my starting right fielder and leadoff hitter. He's rewarded us with a 360 batting average and slightly below defense and left, but that offense has been phenomenal. 364, 48, 5, 48, a 170 OPS plus for Matos. With a BABIP that's probably unsustainable, but we'll take it as long as it lasts. Nolan Jones, having a good season for us. Average is higher than I would have thought, but giving us an 862 OPS, 133 OPS plus. Not a ton of power, only 9 home runs, but again, he only got a 55 power, so if he can give us 20 and 80 and play, above average defense, which, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. Defense is fine. Vlad continues to mash, 881 OPS. It's only 1.6 WAR because he's only playing defense, or only playing DH. But if he can give us 37 and 120, you take that and you run with it. Dylan Carlson has bounced back. He had a rough start to the season, a rough April, but May and June have been very good for him. About an 860 OPS combined, 135-ish OPS plus, so he's been good. Jung-Hoo Lee has come on as of late as well. I think he had a good June. Yeah, 309, 368, 505. With a little bit more power than what we've seen from him, I think, over the last couple of years. Yeah, he's already got 8 home runs on the year. His career high is 13. So if he can give us 15 and 70, 15 and 75, I'll take it. Arteaga's stepped it up. A lot of that WAR is derived from his defense. The bat has been decidedly below average. Manzardo, just above average with the bat. It is what it is. We have limited options. Otto Lopez continues to hit almost 300. Trevino is, exactly what we would have anticipated. If you look at his fielding stats, catcher's ERA of 3.12. And I have no idea how that frame rate relates, but I assume anything positive is good. Meckler has struggled this year to the point where I'm thinking about trading him. Still making the minimum. He does have some value. Ali Sanchez doing an okay job as our backup. Luciano continues to be bad, and then Nick Ahmed continues to be bad. I really don't know what to do with Marco Luciano. I suppose the solution is to make him our starting first baseman and then find a second baseman. And maybe I spent a lot of time over the last 24 hours just sort of messing around with the trade block. And there are some names out there if I'm willing to move on from some people. Like if you look at the actual trade block, there's not a ton going on, but not a ton going on here. But there are some players that are that are options. If I go to hitters, second base, I bump that defense up to 60. And then if I leave all three of these if I do something like that, there are a lot of options here and some players that are not bad. A couple the one that stood out to me, there were two that stood out to me, and I don't think they're showing up on this list. Yeah, they're not. One of them is with Minnesota, and that was Royce Lewis. I was able to piece something together that included Luciano, but I want to see if I can make this happen without Luciano. So if we start with Meckler, yeah, I mean, our scout thinks this is a great deal. He says definitely maybe, just need a bit more, but then the just a bit more is, one of our 6 or 7 best players. So, if I throw in Luciano, we can make the deal happen, but I'm not prepared to do that just yet. Problem is, from a prospect perspective, things are limited right now, right? There's not a lot going on here. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I signed him from an independent, or excuse me, a MLB partner league. Not great with the glove, but pretty good bat for a catcher. Problem is, he's considered drafted this year, so I can't trade him. But, even if I add in like all of these guys, like it doesn't, I mean, I could. Here's the other thing I could do. I could throw in Keaton Winn. Well, that doesn't change things much, does it? Captain, high work ethic, high leader, really, really good ratings against lefties. Let's try it this way. Let's do Meckler. I have no more shop attempts. All right, we just got to get through the day. Yeah, I told you I was messing around with this a bunch. So we lost 7-3 in our first game of the month, and Keaton Winn loses there. Loses the Rangers, who are terrible, but that's okay. All right, shop a player. Meckler and Winn. Let's try this. Manuel Valdez is not really a second baseman. Bush isn't a second baseman either. We're getting a lot of names. I don't know how good many of them are. Eddie's Leonard. $1.96. That's not going to do it. Arraez plays for the Yankees. I now have my heart set on Royce Lewis. So I think I'm just going to sort of figure out a way to make it work. So if we did this, who becomes our 5th starter just before he becomes Zapuki, right? Yeah, we just put Zapuki back into the rotation, or Boyd for that matter, and then we can call somebody up. So that's not a problem. And Winn, I'm assuming he's ARB eligible this year. Yeah. What's his contract number? It's gonna be 2.6. That's not bad. So we can throw in Hartle, Serna. Can we give you? Let's see, what do we have in AAA? Peraza, Bart. I'd rather not. Let me take Velasquez. Okay, there we go. All right, so Nick Zwack. Pull Velasquez out. And a reliever. Okay. Can we get them? We don't really need them to retain, but can we get them to retain? No. Okay, whatever. All right, so there is our big deadline move right out of the bat. We're about 5 minutes into the video, and here we go. So we're going to trade Wade Meckler. Well, wait a minute. Can we get a reliever from them to help fill the spot? Oh, you guys really like Christian Hernandez, huh? Okay. Funderburk. I like Funderburk. Okay, then we can make this work. So we'll give him a 40 over 30, which means he's cool. So, yeah, this will work. So we're going to trade Meckler, and we'll call up somebody to be our backup outfielder. I'm not worried about it. Keaton Winn, who hasn't been, his first 2 years, our first 2 years with Winn, not bad out of a fifth starter, 102, 107 ERA plus. Give us 150 innings each season, so he was reliable out of that fifth spot. Hasn't been as good this season, an 84 ERA. Plus the BABIP is super high. So, that's because all of his peripherals are right in line, right? Like a 1.5, home run 0.9, a home run per 9. His walks are right in line with his career average. His strikeouts are right in line with his career average. So this is a BABIP thing. More balls are landing than what had landed in the past. Dario Lopez, which is whatever. He's 24 years old. He's not a particularly good defensive infielder. Some decent power, though. Can I make this work without Lopez? No. All right, that's fine. Yeah, the only real, I would say, prospect in the bunch, he's got some decent ratings against lefties. And then the other three guys are just guys, Ty Weber, Nick Zwack, and Josh Bostic. And in exchange, we're going to get Cody Funderburk, who's going to slide into a reliever role once we replace Winn in the rotation. And the big fish here, so to speak, is Royce Lewis. We're going to make him our second baseman. There's probably going to be a learning curve there initially, but almost 4 wins last season, a 902 OPS, and really, really good against lefties. So we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger there. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to change things up here a bit. So Luciano is going to become, so we got to do this. So we got to go here and here. Let's do the easy stuff first. So we'll move Zapuki into the lineup. Funderburk, does he have, I don't say he's got massive splits, but we'll make him a specialist / middle relief. And we're still really heavy on lefties. Zapuki is now our fifth starter. We go to our lineup. Royce Lewis, we're going to do that. Put Lewis at second. Put Luciano at first. And we'll see how that plays out. When we need a backup outfielder. That's the other thing. Which means that's going to be Alek Thomas. But that means it's time for Nick Ahmed to go away, I believe. And we will call up Thomas. He's the best defensive outfielder of the bunch. Back up there, back up there. Manzardo will back up at DH, and he'll play every 5th game. He'll play every 6th game here. Otto Lopez is not a good... he's passable as a backup. I'm not too terribly worried about it. But that means Ortega is going to get the lion's share there. Thomas every 8th game. Thomas every 10th game. And against lefties, same deal. We're going to move Royce Lewis up and move Manzardo, or move Luciano down, do something like that. Otto Lopez, Alek Thomas, and Manzardo won't play as much against lefties. Cool. So we make the big deal. What does that do for our fan interest? Bumps it up to a 90, which I like. So let's sim up to the draft now. We're how far into this are we? We are 14 minutes and change into this video. So let's Let's start simming ahead. 11-8 win in 10 innings. Alek Thomas gets called up, gets stuck right in the lineup, and goes 4 for 5. Let's go. Lewis gets the start, goes 1 for 3 with a couple of walks. Trevino and Nolan Jones homer. Pivetta blows the save. Miller blows the save. And then Bummer and Boyd come in. Oof, that's a rough outing for Nick. The day off, followed by Detroit. 7-4 loss. 7-6 loss. 7-2 win. All right, so 2-3 so far this month. Arteaga 3 for 5, 5 RBIs. Royce Lewis 2 for 4, so he's 4 for 11 so far with us this season. Matos 3 hits. Griffin Canning gets the win. How's he doing? I mean, I know it's early, but yeah, I mean, he's been bad at second base. But I think we can, in the offseason, I think we make him work defensively at second base. How was Cincinnati this year? 41-44. All right. So we got 4 games at home against Cincinnati leading into the draft. 8-3 loss. Wow. He's going to accept. He is not. All right, well, I guess that's that. We'll go ahead and pay that out. We need to make sure we have enough players in our minor league. So we win 2-1. Hasn't been a good month so far, but we're still comfortably, I don't want to say comfortably in first base. We're still in first place. Harrison 5 2/3. Puck blows the save. How far? How up? Well, 4.5 up. All right. So yeah, even though it hasn't been a great start to the month, 3-5, we're not losing a bunch of ground. Let's see how the final game goes against Cincinnati. 7-6 win. Got the draft. Carlson 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Arteaga 2 hits and an RBI. Carlson with his 8th home run. Luzardo 4 runs in 6. Let's sim this game against Chicago. It's a 2-0 loss. So we're what? 4-6 this month? 4-7 this month? 4-6. All right. We're fourth in. I mean, this is weird. So we're 4th in batting average, 3rd in on-base percentage, and we're 4th in hits, and we are 12th in runs scored. We have absolutely no power. We're 11th in slugging, 11th in OPS, 12th or 13th in extra base hits. So we're a singles hitting team. We got to pick up some power from somewhere. So far, so good from Royce Lewis. Yeah, I mean, he's been all right offensively. Defensively, not great, but we knew that was going to be an issue. All right, it's draft time. We're picking 19th, and it looks like a decent draft, which is nice to see. From a batting perspective, you got 4 players that are 65 or over, 7 that are 60 or over, and then from a pitching perspective, an 80, a 70, a 65, and a 65. I mean, all those guys are probably going to be gone. So let's just sim to our first pick. So we still have one of the 65 rated pitchers in Alfredo Trujillo. Good curveball, changeup, cutter. High work ethic, but he's fragile. Let's look at batters. Again, you never want to draft based off of major league need, right? But who do they thought initially we were going to take this guy, Quadir Igwe. Now they want us to take Jacquin Vilsaint, I was actually just about to look at him. 18-year-old, 55 contact, 60 gap, 65 power. Yeah, I mean, high work ethic. I mean, he's a pretty darn good outfielder. We'll plug him in. Igwe, again, high work ethic, good defensively, good avoid K. I like the center fielder better. A lot of high school players in this draft. Not a big um, overager to use a hockey term. Zion Rose. Good gap power, good power. He's become an outfielder, and a damn good outfielder, actually. We're going to take Ville Saint with our first pick. Is Rose still there? He is. How do we feel about Zion Rose as a center fielder? He's got the ratings for it. Let's see what else we got first. Igwe's still there. OSA thinks his contact. 65 contact, 45 gap, 55 power, 45 eye. Now, we can take Igwe here. 80 avoid K, high work ethic. What do we got here? 65 contact, 45 gap, 55, 55, 70. A terrible arm, though. That's something you can work on, though. That's something you can work on now, though. I think we go the high work ethic middle infielder. So Berdan is still there. So is Zion Rose. I think we're going to take the catcher. Doesn't have low work ethic, right? No, it's normal across the board. Just low loyalty, but we can work on that arm, I think. Zion's still there. He is. I'm going to take Zion now, and I'm going to turn him into a center fielder, I think. All right, we should probably look at pitchers. We haven't looked at pitchers once yet. And it doesn't look like most of the really good talent is gone at this point, which is to be expected. But Colton Hartman looks like a kind of a two-way guy. 50, 50, 40, 45 fastball, 60 curveball, 45 changeup. 55 potential power. Who do they think we should take? Andrew Kane. No, I'm good. Yeah, we can take Hartman. He's got definitely has the personality ratings that we like. Let's take Zane Adams now, who's the 22-year-old of Alabama. Yeah, we can take another low ceiling, high floor kind of guy. I'm all right with that. Let's go back before we start looking at fielding and all that stuff. Let's see if there's anything here who has a legitimate offensive profile. I don't really look like it. All right, let's go to fielding ratings. We got Wilbin Harrington, 65 blocking, only 25 framing. All right, so not much going on here from a catcher perspective now. What about infield range? Kai Coranto is a name that I remember from previous playthroughs. He looks just okay. Will Matusak, again, looks just okay. Jaron Purify. That's not bad. Probably a second baseman, but can play short and third as well. High work ethic. Yeah, Jaron Purify. Yep. The next pick, outfield range now. Josiah Harrison. He's not very good defender, not very good with the bat. He's not very good with the bat. Tarpley's not very good with the bat. LaSalle's probably the best bat, but he doesn't have the work ethic. So let's go to individual pitch potential. Low leader. I mean, he's probably going to be there, but I mean, that's somebody we're probably going to have to draft just based on those pitches. Brad Carnejo as a knuckle curve. Meh. I think we're going to have to take Taylor just because of those pitches. But got a high work ethic guy here. Yeah, he's pretty bad, though, too. Jimmy Alt. Nope, he's pretty bad. Adrian's pretty bad. Did I look at him already? I did. All right, we're going to take Taylor. And I think we can take the high work ethic guy. And he's not particularly good, but Mike Burks has an 85 potential fastball. Adrian Alt. Jimmy Gordon. Yeah, we can take Jimmy Gordon. Only 25 potential, but he's got the personality traits, got a couple of good pitches. One of them is a changeup, which may not ever develop, but what are you going to do? Definition of average, but I think we can take him here. 21-year-old, that's fine. Tusak, I think we'll take him now. Arm. We got any big arm guys? Lucas Kelly. We can take him. Looks like a decent enough profile. Has a little bit of power. Has the high work ethic. He's pretty good defensively at third. Not a bad draft. Not a terrible draft. Josiah Harrison. We can take him. We're at pick 15. I'm going to let the AI finish. Let the AI do the last 5. I could spend another, 5-10 minutes going through it, but I don't feel like doing that. We should have plenty of money for, well, maybe not plenty, but we have enough. We have enough. We'll just leave it at that. Let's go ahead and sign all these guys first, and then we'll see what Browerman wants. I like our first 3 picks. Really, our first 4 picks. Because I'm going to make Zion Rose a center fielder. The ratings allow that. He's got good power. We'll see what goes there. See what happens there. But Phil Saint, high work ethic outfielder, maybe a left fielder with this profile. But again, we can probably work on that in the development lab if we need to. Igwe, second baseman, maybe not even a second baseman. That turn DP is not great. Maybe make him a third baseman. I don't know. We'll see. He'll play all over the infield. Burdan, we'll have to work on his defense, but maybe he's a first baseman when it's all said and done. But good profile there. Hartman is again that low ceiling kind of guy, high floor, low ceiling, but a potential 2-way. All right. So what do we want to do from here? I guess we'll just sim. I don't know that there's a whole lot more we want to do offensively. Luciano's been so bad. He's been so bad, but I don't know that there's another option at the moment. I mean, I suppose we can look at. Let's get through the All-Star game, and then we'll kind of think about potential trade options. Another loss. I wonder how much of this is due to the defense, honestly. I don't know. I mean, we're just not scoring. We scored no runs and then 3 runs. So I don't know how much of this I can blame on defense. We're not hitting. Here's a 6-1 win. Luciano with a 3-run homer. That's nice to see. My other computer is just going nuts with the noise. Webb, 10-5 on the season. Now we have St. Louis, 11-4 win. Carlson, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. Luciano, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. You got Lewis. He gets a hit. Has it gotten any better at all? A little bit. The efficiency's gotten better. Matos, 2 hits. Lee, 3 hits. Vlad, 2 hits. Nolan Jones drives in 3. Harrison is only 7. He's getting an ERA of 2.6, but he's only 7-6. Not getting a lot of help offensively. Another win. There's 3 in a row. Nolan Jones with another home run. Trevino homers. Lewis has 3 hits, scores 3 runs. Luzardo is 7-6. 5-0 shutout. Royce Lewis batting leadoff and playing third base in this game. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Vlad a couple of hits. Lee drives in a run. Alec Thomas hitting .350 in limited playing time. Griffin Canning, 6 shutout innings. This was just a great signing for us. It's going to give us about 3 WAR, ERA right around 3. I'll take that. Final game in St. Louis. Can we sweep them? We do. The offense come into play, 12-11. Thomas, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Lopez, 3 hits. Matos and Lee each had 3 hits. Royce Lewis with another home run. Webb doesn't make it out of 5. All of our relievers get hit hard in this one, but we end up pulling out the victory. So we got 3 games. We'll play these 3 games at Miami and then think about any potential trades. Another win, 6-5 this time. So we were down 6-4, or down 5-4 rather, and then a run on the 6th, run on the 7th. Nolan Jones, Carlson, and Manzardo all with homers. Why did Spencer Howard get the start? Oh, that's right. We had Zapuki got suspended. Cool. Miller picks up the save. Boyd, Puck, and Miller. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. That'll work. Game 2 against Miami. A 9-6 win. I keep waiting for the loss just because of our overworked bullpen due to the suspension. But nope, we keep on winning. Jones, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Carlson, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. He homers twice. Manzardo with a home run in back-to-back games. And numbers have started to slip a bit for Vlad. He only 1 home run in July. That's okay. Harrison gives up 5 and 5 1/3. Bummer gets the win. All right, final game leading into the All-Star break. It's a 3-1 win. We're on an 8-game winning streak. We get 2 hits from Nolan Jones, RBIs from Lewis, Sanchez, and Lee. Luzardo, 6 1/3 shutout. And I will take that for sure. All-Star game. You can take a look at the American League there. Raffy makes it for the Red Sox. Tristan Cashes, they have over at 3rd. Interesting. That's working for him. Marcelo Meyer. And in the National League, Kyle Harrison makes it. Logan Webb makes it. So our top 2 starters both make it. Camilo Doval's having a good season, but I would argue that Mason Miller's having a better season. So we get Harrison, Webb, Miller. Luis Matos makes it offensively. He's our only offensive player to make the All-Star game. So we have 4 All-Stars. Any prospects? Josh Hartle. And Josh Hartle. All right, so we should have had some players accept. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all accepted. We will Do that. We'll come in here. We will make him a center fielder. Excuse me. See how Hartman does. He is a two-way guy. Yeah. Caminiti's doing okay in his first full season. We have a lot of players in this. Yeah, 63. We're gonna have to. Let's come in here and quickly go through and. Ooh, yeah, I guess Cardenas is going to go. No, I'm not going to get rid of him, that high work ethic. Let's get rid of these 9 players. What do we have for just drag? Yep. I think some of these guys I probably drafted this year, so let's do this a little differently. Let's be smart about this. If you're in rookie ball and you're eligible for the Rule 5, you should probably go ahead and move on, would be my thought process. All right, we're back. I had to deal with the work thing as I do. All right, where are we? We're on the 21st. We were going to get through the trade deadline and then, or through the draft rather, and then, or let's try that again, through the All-Star game, and then take a look at potential areas of need. I think, I don't know that, do we want to add a 5th starter? We've got Zapuki, Boyd, and Pivetta. I don't want to take Boyd out. He's been really good as a reliever this year, but I don't know. I think our pitching staff is fine. I don't necessarily think that we need to make a move on the pitching side. Offensively, maybe a shortstop. Ortega's been, he's been fine, I guess. He's been good with the glove. Why do I have all these players that are tired? What is going on? I start Carlson in center every 9th game. What is happening here? Do that, I guess. Jung-Hoo Lee has, we have a lot of batters that are above average now. Our offense hasn't been as bad as it has in the past. And Alec Thomas has come in, done a nice job in a backup outfield role. In fact, that's probably what we should be doing is that. And getting him in there, getting Thomas in there 3 games a week like that. Yeah, let's see what's on the block, and then we can kind of go from there. There wasn't anybody earlier. They got Brandon Lau, but again, we now don't need a second baseman. Arraez with the Yankees. We're making $740,000. He's been a negative WAR player. I don't know. Are any of these players better than what we're throwing out there every day? I don't think they are. Schwarber's on pace for 52 home runs, but that's in Minnesota. And we bring him in and he replaces our DH, so that's not going to be a thing. I don't know. I think we made our big trade. Let's look at pitchers just to be safe. Huh. Contract expires. Get a team option for 15 next year. You can't have one of my best players. I was hoping maybe they were just desperate to get rid of him, but they have plenty of cash, so they're not. I don't think they're in a position where they feel like they have to trade. Alcantara with Philadelphia. He's making 17. Hasn't been great. Cutter Crawford with Boston. Good control. Can we pick up Cutter Crawford? Imanaga. Let's try Cutter Crawford. It's ARB eligible. What do they want? And they still want one of our better players, which I'm not prepared to do, but he's only a 50 overall. No, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Let's go back and look at the block again. Manea has been terrible. Maybe change of scenery. Maybe change of scenery for Sean Manea. Canning Harris. Yeah, I'm not giving up any of those players. I'm not doing it. Made Dylan Adkins a closer. He's been awful, and they want a lot in return. Interesting. Let's do it this way. Chris Paddock. Bring Robbie Ray back. It's $25 million. What about Paddock? Only making $1.8 million. Yeah, they want like somebody that I'm not willing to give up. Man, I'm not willing to do that. What about? I mean, Peralta, I assume, is going to be even worse. I say worse. I mean, I don't mean worse. I mean the demand will be more. Yeah. I think we have to drop down into the 45 territory, and if we're doing that, is what we have better than Ian Hamilton? Only got 35 stamina. He's not really a starter. Tanner Houck? What about Tanner? Yeah, like that's crazy. I don't understand the demand here from some of these players, or for some of these players, I should say. We may just walk away from the deadline without anything, which I'm fine with. We made our I'm not seeing anything there. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe when we get a little closer to the deadline, I mean, maybe we get literally through our series here against Toronto and then we figure it out. Let's make sure our pitching staff coming out of the break is solid. So we're pitching today, so it's going to be Harrison. 5-man rotation. I don't want to go strict order. So Webb will go tomorrow. So we'll go Harrison today. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Want to make sure we have our pitching rotation set coming out of the break. It's a 5-4 wins. That's 3, 6, 9 in a row for the Giants. Matos 3 hits. Ortega 3 hits coming out of the break. Royce Lewis hits his 3rd home run of the year. Harrison gives up 4 and 5 1/3. Doesn't get the win, but that's okay. There's 10 straight now for San Francisco. Matos 3 more hits. Carlson has that average up to 274. He's having a good year. Having a really good year, especially considering where he started. Yeah, I mean, May, June, and July have been terrific for him. Got 7 home runs in June and July. Vlad hits his 20th. Matos is 9th. Zardo gets the win. Final game of the series, 11 straight victories. Another big game for Dylan Carlson, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Luciano, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. That's nice to see. Carlson with 2 doubles. Nolan Jones with a couple of hits, 3 walks, reaches base 5 times. Alec Thomas has that average at 364. Griffin Canning pitching really well. We got Toronto for 3 now. There's 12 straight. It's a Logan Webb victory, 7 1/3, 2 earned runs. Matos has just been on fire since the break. Look at that. 6, 8, 10 for 8 and 8 is 16. 10 for 16 since the All-Star break. Guerrero 2 RBIs. Jones 2 more hits. And there is the losing streak ending at, 12 games, 13 games? You want to send us Ahmed Rosario? No. So I think that means maybe that was Zapuki. Maybe he's not the answer this year. Let's swap him and Boyd. All right, let's finish off the games for the month. We lose 2-0. All right, so back-to-back losses. We finished the month. We still have the 31st to do. We finished the month 16-9. So 36-16 in the 2 months that I've simmed with you guys. So maybe I should just keep simming with you. We have an 8-game lead on the Padres. Offensively, offensively, we're starting to sort it out. Luciano and Trevino are bad. I didn't expect anything out of Trevino at all offensively. So, I'm fine with this. Jung Hoo Lee has not been particularly good. He's been really bad in the outfield. Hopefully he opts out. He has not been good. There may need to be another option in center field because he's not been good out there. Do we make Carlson our center fielder? He's been above average in right. Matos has been slightly below average in left. Yeah, I guess we're not that good defensively. It's a bit of a surprise. All right. Well, this is our lineup. This is what we're gonna see through to the end. So Matos just having a great year, putting up almost 1,000 OPS, up to 4 WAR already. Nolan Jones having a good season as well. I said 20 and 80. He's on pace for 20 and 90 right now. 4.5 WAR. I'll take it. Dylan Carlson is on pace for a 4-win season, and we're only paying him $5 million. That's been awesome. Vlad continues to be good. Lewis, only 244, 315, 427 since joining the team. Still sorting out second base. Ortega sitting right at that 80 to 85 OPS plus. And Zardo had a decent enough month. Jung Hoo Lee we talked about. Lopez still sitting at about 300. Thomas hitting the ball pretty well since calling him up. And then we talked about the bottom of the lineup. Luciano still on pace for 74 RBIs, even though he's negative WAR player. How's he doing at first? You can't really tell. It looks fine, but who really knows? And then pitching, Webb and Harrison are still the best 1-2 punch in baseball, both of which are on pace for over 6 WAR, almost 7 WAR out of both of them. Griffin Canning was just an amazing pickup for us. He's been terrific after being awful in LA the last 2 seasons. Aaron Bummer and AJ Puck continue to be great additions in the bullpen. Luzardo has been fine. 3.77 ERA, still averaging more than a strikeout an inning. FIP is a little bit higher. The BABIP is still low, but he's getting it done this year. Mason Miller's been fine as our closer. Colby Ayard has been great. Boyd is going to get a couple of starts. We'll see how he does in the rotation. We have options, so if neither of those guys get it done, maybe we don't have a ton of options. We can go back to Mason Black for a few starts if we need to. Ethan Small, I'm not terribly worried about it because once we get to the postseason, we're going to be going with 4 starters anyway. So, how are our prospects doing? Hartle, 2-11, 5.72, 326 BABIP. I mean, he'll be fine. I mean, he's going to be a number 5 starter, but whatever. It's not a problem. We don't have anybody in A-ball yet. How are our rookies doing? Burdan, 125 so far, 2 for 16. Bill Saint, 5 for his first 39. Does have a home run. Igwe, 1 for his first 26. Caminiti, 3.35 ERA. He's been good as a starter. He's not been great as a batter, but he's been good as a starter so far. Hartman, maybe a little overmatching those players, but we'll leave them there nonetheless. Boston Kellner, again, pitching, he's been fine. He's struggling with the bat. Zion Rose, 235, has 3 home runs already. Yeah, I like that power. Stroman, yeah, he's having a rough go of it, but only 19 years old. Anybody in our international? We picked up Juan Ramirez this past season, number 5 prospect in the game. Can probably go ahead and dump these 3 guys. Orioles lead the AL East, 61-41. Guardians lead a bad Central at 53-50. Mariners best record in the American League. Best record in baseball, 66-36. You got MJ Melendez on their team now. How did he end up there? 7/31/2024. For Brian Anderson and Colt Emerson. Okay. Gleyber Torres. They probably get it done. I was going to say they get it done with their. I mean, they are the second most runs scored in the American League, but they get it done with their pitching staff. Kirby Castillo, Gilbert Wu, and Jordan Montgomery. Mets lead the NL East. Cardinals lead the Central. Central's not great this year, either the AL or the NL. And we lead the West. 2-game losing streak, but we have an 8-game lead. Look at all the San Francisco stuff in here. Luis Matos leading the majors in hitting. Vlad 3rd in the National League in RBIs. Matos is 3rd in OPS. Canning is 2nd in earned run average. Webb is 3rd. Webb is tied for 1st in wins. Canning is 2nd. Harrison 3rd in strikeouts. Miller leads in saves. And then Webb and Harrison are 1-2 in WAR. You like to see that. Schwarber, 35 home runs, 83 RBIs. Having a good season for Minnesota, really. I mean, that's impressive. Nolan Chanel leads the American League in OPS. Holiday, Witt, Henderson. What are they doing with? You got Basallo on the bench. That is insane. 31 home runs in 90 games last season. 4.6 WAR. They got him on the bench. Who's their DH? Really? They're going with Nathaniel Lowe. That's your option. And Connor Norby. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Wow. Okay. I picked up Eloy Jimenez as well, and he's having a good year. Zach Gallen. Rodriguez, Bradish, Corbin Burns. Oof, he's fallen off a cliff a little bit this year. Judd Fabian, this is a name. Red Sox drafted him in the second round in 2021, I think, and he didn't sign. Yeah, 21. And then he was drafted in the second round by the Orioles and did sign. He wanted first round money and they didn't want to give it to him. That's a bit of a shame. Anything else we want to look at? Anything else we want to do? I mean, let's take another look at the block real quick, and maybe things have changed given that it's the day of. Mr. Cortez, an 8.3 this year, 8.3 next year. Manea's now hurt, so you should have traded him to me. That's what you get. Alcantara. Has anything changed with Houck? Still asking for stupid stuff? Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to run with what we have then. I am happy with our trade deadline. We pick up Royce Lewis from Minnesota. I think he's got, probably 1 year left in arbitration. Where is he? 2 years. Cool. So he's got 2 years of ARB left after, 1 year after this one. So he's got 27 and 28 where he's still ARB eligible. So hopefully by the time we get to 2027, he's more comfortable at second base. Our payroll does jump. We've got some players who are spiking in terms of their ARB numbers. Matos is going up to 6. Mason Miller up to 8. Jones up to 10. Royce Lewis up to 10. My hope is that Jung-Hoo Lee opts out after this contract year and we get that money off the books. And if he can give us, 3 WAR a year, he probably will. But we should have money. I mean, we're not a poor organization by any means. Fan interest continuing to go up, especially if we win. If we win, that's obviously going to help. So let's go ahead and finish the day. We'll take a look at our player development, and then that will be that. All right, so Serna gets better. Cool. Ohuna gets worse. Bill Saint already gets better. Cool. Batter of the month in the AL is Kyle Schwarber. In the NL, it is Ronnie Mauricio. Pitcher of the month in the AL, TJ Brock. In the NL, Spencer Strider. Rookie of the month in the AL, Jason Morabel. And in the NL, Bubba Chandler. So that's going to do it. I'm going to sim to some point in September. If I'm running away with the West, I may just sim to the end of the regular season, depending on, we've got like an 8-game lead on the next best team in the National League. So we should, unless things fall apart, we should be looking at that number 1 spot. So I may sim to the end of the regular season. I may not. We'll see how it goes. If I don't want, again, the off-season episode can take a long time, so I want to limit how much in-season stuff we're watching. If the solution is already a foregone conclusion. So that's going to do it, guys. Let me know what you think of the draft. Let me know what you think of the deadline. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.